In this video, I'm going to go through a simple process to assess, improve and monitor your hip mobility over time. I would always recommend having a well-balanced strength training program that trains through full ranges of motion as the first step in addressing any hip mobility issues. First, you're going to assess where you currently are using 4 simple assessments that anybody can do. Will take roughly around 5 minutes to complete and will be used to monitor your training progress. Seated on a chair with legs bent at 90 degrees, move your legs out the way as far as comfortable. Normal ranges are around 20 to 30 degrees. Put a tick or a cross against whether you can achieve this or not. Next, move your foot inwards as far as comfortable. Normal ranges are around 30 to 45 degrees. Put a tick or a cross against whether you can achieve this or not. Next is quad length, ensuring your knee is flat against the wall. See if you can get your bum to touch your heel. Make sure you do not arc through the lower back. Finally, you're going to use the hip hinge to assess your hamstrings and movement around your hips. Most people are awful at dissociating the hips and lower back, thus not able to load their hamstrings as well. Put the dowel on the back and make sure it touches the following 3 points: head, upper back and tailbone. Are you able to pivot forward to a decent range without losing form, around 45 degrees or so? Here are the exercises to try and help address some of the limitations that you may have found within the assessments. In terms of programming, I'll go through this at the end of the video, so please continue watching until then. If you struggled with quad length, the reverse Nordic is great for mobility and strength in the quads, as it trains the rectus femoris in its lengthened position. I've done a more detailed video already on this, which I'll link in the description. Start at a height that is appropriate for your current strength levels. Use band assisted first before progressing to without, and then reduce height and repeat the process as you get stronger. The quad stretch assessment is also another great option if you choose to do so. The aeroplane stretch is a great movement for both internal and external hip rotation and kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Rotate the leg outward and hold for 5 seconds and get a stretch in the groin, before moving inward into external rotation and hold for 5 seconds to get a stretch on the glutes. If you really struggle with hip internal rotation, here are 4 levels of progression you can work through to develop this area, going from beginner to advanced. Starting with a simple standing or seated movement, progressing to the frog stretch, then 90-90 hip switches with the back leg elevated, before finishing with the squat variation. Only work to where you're able and do not force anything. Similarly, if you struggle with external hip rotation, here are 4 levels you can work through to develop this area, going from beginner to more advanced. Standing external rotations to pigeon stretch with and then without hands, before finishing with the 90-90 hip switches. Only work to where you're able. If you struggle with the hip hinge, then just doing this exercise is great for lowering the hamstrings and moving around the hip. This can be done bilaterally first with the barbell before progressing to single leg with either barbell or dumbbells. If your balance is terrible, then go assisted by holding on to something and then load it up. In terms of programming, I would recommend incorporating the previously outlined exercises either into your strength training program or your warm-ups prior to your training sessions. If you include these as warm-up routines, then they're dynamic in nature and would not decrease your force potential for that upcoming training session. An example warm-up is on screen now to illustrate how this could be incorporated into training. Done a few times per week would get you well on your way to improved health and performance. So quick summary. First, assess where you are using the 4 simple assessments. Incorporate the mobility exercises either into warm-ups or part of your strength training program. And then finally, continue to monitor on a regular basis to track your progress. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, and if you have any questions, fire them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.